talking about work from a former resident of this neighborhood, Weiwei.
Who's living around here?
Hi to everybody. I'm Elettra and I'm like Kim. I do whatever Seth asks me. So I will try to do my best to read through you some pages of this book we did. Me, Gianluca, and Weiwei, Zodiac, and we chose fighting is a symptom of life. The initiative to make some change requires some levels of fighting. Freedom of speech and human rights are not given to anybody for free. They always come through fighting and struggle. We are weak and fragile, and we don't live in a fantasy. Time is finite. Beijing is truly a polluted city. 2 years ago, I started wearing a mask. It helps protect my skin. People try to protect themselves by using strange masks. Maybe it's a way not to forget, to remember how fleeting time is for all of us. We are all like the sheep sign, which is considered sympathetic and with a strong sense of justice, sometimes. The sky sometimes turns dark because of the smog and pollution. I lived in New York from 1983 to 1995. You know, New York was like Beijing in the 60s. I took many photos of Ginsberg, but mostly of my daily life. Stop taking all these pictures, but I couldn't. I was interested in the moment itself. Time collapses in photos. AIDS was a big issue at that time in New York, more than pollution. And I was there. In the 90s, war made the headlines again. I felt out of place in New York at the time. I didn't have any culture shock. As someone would expect, how is it to live in a communist country? I was actually surprised that so many people called America a civilized society. It is not all that civilized because everyone carries a lot of burdens. I did a lot of different jobs: cutting grass, cleaning houses, constructions. And I dropped out of Parsons School of Design. I'm sorry, but you didn't take the art history test. But I realized that my attitude and motivation was to be an artist, which is the most powerful tool if you want to change the world. My friends and I were very often bored, doing nothing, or almost nothing. Just being there in the middle of things. I did some pictures of mine and that were used during the court trial. I have some photographs from the Tompkins Square Park riot. Interesting. May I have a look? It was a hot night. It became evidence in the lawsuit against the police. There was a lot of debris in the air, obviously temper squared. I saw residents pulled off of their stoops. It didn't matter if you were a journalist, a resident, or a storekeeper. I wasn't aware of what was going to happen. I resigned. It was interesting to see different groups coming together to announce their purpose and fight. And it was interesting to see how power reacted to them. Taking photos was an act of boredom because I had nothing to do. I was living close to a small community of Chinese youngsters. Like Tam Dun, who eventually became a famous composer. Or Hu Yong-hyan, who was playing violin in the streets. We were trying to find out who we were, what we wanted. We were drawing our lives. I came back to Beijing in 1993 because my father was sick. Should I stay or should I go? Monkey. My journey to the West ended and I found out I was an artist. But I quit painting in 1989 with a triptych of Mao. There are only a few objects left from that time because every time I moved, I put my feet into new shoes. And now the government puts you in small shoes. Brother, you always find a way to make me laugh. All these bureaucratic obstacles, administrative hassles, and red tape are driving me crazy. Look, I found the copy you were looking for. You are the best at finding forgotten old things. The end of my journey to the West. Don't treat me, you are very never nostalgic. No, I wonder if we left something behind us. We were young and we found ourselves. There is a mystery in youth looking back. I think that one of the best moments was when we came back to Beijing. Well, it wasn't bad, but the period of Xinjiang was finished. Beidao, that poetic voice, was in exile after Tiananmen. The Cold War was still there. Ma Desheng fled to Paris. The artist group, the Stars, marked the end of socialist realism. They showed the path, they occupied the public space and revealed how hard democracy and freedom of expression are connected. The exhibition that the Stars group organized was a strange kind of success. Nobody had seen anything like it in the past 30 years. Then it ended after only 2 weeks. More than 100,000 people visited it. I still remember the party that was thrown at the Moscow restaurant with the monkey from the ticket sales. Everybody does vodka, Russian food, and beer. You could wash your teeth with all that vodka. And Ma Desheng spoke in an invented foreign language. It was really a good period, but as you know, it ended, and we found our way out. Art is like Wukong. Like the Monkey King, it has the power to transform itself. It can manipulate wind, water, and fire. And like Wukong, it is impassioned. Four months before Tiananmen, in the National Art Museum of China, Xia Lu forewarned the gunshots of Tiananmen shooting at her own artwork. We were in the USA at the time. Later we came back because of our father. Artists asked us how to become famous in New York. And we don't know how to answer. We hadn't become famous ourselves. That's why I started the Black Cover book. It was a way to put together all I had discovered so far. Maybe it's a way not to forget how thin time is for each of us. Yes, the exhibition Fuck Off with Fanboy was a real push to the so-called art establishment of the party. It was challenging and easy at the time. Their art was for dead men walking. I wonder why you never wrote home when you were in New York. Beijing somehow fed us. The Monkey King of Art has incredible superpower. Art is wrestling with yourself. I had no experience in architecture, but I designed my couch-hanging studio myself in 1999. We decided to open the Fuck Off exhibition some days before the announced date, so people could see the art before its predictable closing. We wore temporary tattoos of Wukong. We humans know we are here, but we are not sure. We need art or philosophy as a mirror to adjust and recognize ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elettra and Gianluca. Elettra wrote this piece in collaboration with the artist Weiwei, and it was illustrated by Gianluca Costantini. And I have to say that until I saw this book of theirs, somehow I had not put it together that some of the most iconic photographs of the 1988 Tompkins Square riot were photographed by Ai Weiwei, who was just another face in the crowd like the rest of us back then. And the next artist will be Larimar Lora.